Hey, what's up everybody? How's it going? It's been a while since you've seen my face. If you saw the Matt Smith Years Doctor Who set piece video, you know I've been battling chest congestion for quite a while, so I'm better now, and I figured it's high past time that we get back in the swing of things here on the RazMan's Reality. So a lot planned. We're going to get back to every 2 or 3 days you see a video on this channel. Next week you're going to see another Alexis Gomez video because I have went to 2 other shows since the last video that I made, and then there's another one coming up next week, sorry. So you're gonna see a combined effort on all 3 of those shows in a video. You're going to see some Blu-ray reviews that I've been meaning to do for ages. You're gonna see some of the series I brought in before, like Recommends and Netflix Pick of the Week, and we're just gonna get back into the flow of things here. So what I wanted to start with today, however, was, if you followed my wrestling videos in the past, you know that I've gone back and forth between here on this channel, and then I had a separate channel because I didn't feel like the videos were getting a lot of views, and then I went back over to the separate channel for a while, and I realized that I was gone away from that channel for too long for people to know that I was on that channel. So wrestling is once again going to be and stay a permanent part of this channel, but we're actually going to just use the RazManWrestling name as the name of the wrestling videos. So if you knew me by that name, and on that channel you'll be able to see that series title in the title of the video and say, oh, well, this is where this guy is now talking about wrestling. So this is a video for the wrestling fans. So if you couldn't tell that by the title, which you should have been able to, but if you're not a wrestling fan, it's okay with me if you want to tune out of this episode and come back in the next one, because it'll be entertainment related. But we're going to get back to a regular mix on this channel because I love talking some wrestling, and I'm trying to figure out the best way to talk some sports. I don't know if I'm going to try and bring it back to YouTube, because I've done it on YouTube before, and it's really hard to do, because with sports you have to react to it almost immediately, or no one cares about your opinion because it's over with and done with. Whereas opposed to wrestling, which we're going to do here in a minute, I can get caught up. I can talk about a number of topics because it's all connected and all related to one another, so it makes it easier to do videos on. So I'm considering either doing sports videos again, or I'm going to do a sports podcast on Mixcloud. I just don't know what the best way to go about that is. So if you have an opinion on that, if you like other sports and you're a wrestling fan, or if you tuned in to this episode and you don't like wrestling but you like other sports and you have an opinion on that, feel free to leave that below in the comment section in the description area as well. So with all of that intro and all that spiel that I didn't intend to go on for almost 4 minutes now, let's get into this. So welcome to, I guess for lack of a better way to put it, episode 1 of RazManWrestling on the RazMan's Reality, as today we talk about the Owens Cena feud, what's wrong with the way they're booking Seth Rollins, how do you book Roman Reigns successfully, and Ring of Honor to Destination America. let's get started here. I'm going to start with Ring of Honor to Destination America because it's the least amount of things that I have to say on the subject, so it'll be the quickest to start with. I love this move because even though I live in an area where you can get Sinclair Broadcasting Television, I know a lot of people got it at, like myself, got it at 12:30 at night, 11:30 at night, 10:30 at night. It made it really hard to watch it live, and it also made it really hard to find because a lot of areas, including my own, that it would fluctuate. It would go from 10:30 to 11:30 to 12:30 in the morning. It wouldn't, or sometimes it'd be on 12 noon in the afternoon on a Saturday. Sinclair Broadcasting just did not have a set time for Ring of Honor Wrestling. At least with Ring of Honor on Destination America leading into TNA on Wednesdays, it is a set time slot. The biggest issue obviously is that it's 8 p.m. on Wednesday. And what is that run up right against? Obviously the most consistent and most watched wrestling product probably that there is right now, and that's WWE NXT on the WWE Network. Sorry for any angle change at all there, my Android phone went off. As I was saying, say what you want about TNA, whether you're a fan of the product or not, whether you think Billy Corgan is going to help TNA or not. TNA did allow more people to have Destination America. Like once Destination America landed the deal for TNA, a lot of markets, including my provider, Time Warner Cable, went and said we have to have this channel because this is going to be a program that people want to watch. So that alone, TNA has the audience. Whether or not it's the strongest audience in the world or not is debatable, but it has the audience with Destination America. So with DVR, I think that Ring of Honor's numbers will rise because it simply goes back to what I was saying. It is a place where ROH is going to be there every Wednesday at 8 o'clock. You can watch it on DVR at 9 o'clock after you watch NXT, and then after you watch ROH, then you can get caught up on TNA, or you can watch TNA the next day. It can do nothing but help Ring of Honor bring in a consistent audience. For those people that hear people talk about Ring of Honor and I've never seen it and don't know, like, oh, this is just, why are people making it such a big deal? So what if guys like Punk and Brian and Joe and other guys like that came from this company? What's the big fuss? For people that have never been exposed to Ring of Honor, now they're going to know what the big fuss about Ring of Honor really truly is. So I'm happy for Ring of Honor. I love this move to Destination America. Next up, I want to talk about Roman Reigns, because Roman Reigns is a guy that WWE tried to force down our throats too soon. It was not an organic build. Now they've realized that, and they pushed him back down to make hard stats a little bit, and they slowly started building him up by having him attached to a guy in Dean Ambrose, who the crowd really, really loves and really, really gets behind. So organically, people are starting to see, hey, maybe Roman Reigns has something. He's getting progressively better in the ring. The biggest issue now with the way that Roman Reigns is presented is Ambrose gets a stronger reaction than Reigns, and Ambrose always will get a stronger reaction than Reigns. Ambrose gets a very Stone Cold Steve Austin-esque like reaction to him. That's why when a lot of people say, oh, turn Dean Ambrose heel against Roman Reigns, have Reigns and Ambrose feud, that helps get Reigns over as a face when they want to put the title on him. That's why, to me, that scenario doesn't work, because heel or face, Ambrose is one of those guys that's going to get cheered no matter what he does. So Roman Reigns has got a big hill to climb, and I think it's just going to be one of those things where we're just going to have to accept it and hope he continues to get better and better and better, because I don't see any way in the world that Roman Reigns does not win Money in the Bank ladder match on Sunday, and I predict a WrestleMania main event rematch, but obviously this time all three components know that each other's going to be there. Lesnar's coming back. I predict Reigns to not pull a Rollins and to say I'm a bigger, better man than Rollins, and to announce that he's cashing in. And I predict the main event of Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins versus Brock Lesnar for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. No insult to Ambrose. I love Ambrose, but I just don't think, and God help me, because I'm not trying to pull a John Cena promo right here, but I just don't think his time is now with Dean Ambrose. I think Dean Ambrose is a guy that you're not going to see with the WWE World Heavyweight Championship clean until December. A lot of people have panicked about the way Seth Rollins is being booked, which is what I'm going to transition into, but I think this particular thing on Monday night was just wrestling one-on-one. I think Rollins right now is looking as weak as he possibly can as champion, so he does get that clean ladder match victory without interference and finally gets his clean, because whether you're a heel or a face, you have to eventually get a clean, decisive victory as champion. And that's what I think they're leading into with Money in the Bank for Seth Rollins as WWE World Heavyweight Champion. The problem is, and the reason Seth Rollins is in the title, is have you made him look too weak for too long? Can the crowd accept, okay, Rollins is a great champion, he can get over on his own? I think that J&J Security, Kane, Triple H, and Stephanie, the entire Authority angle, has really hurt Seth Rollins' credibility, because Seth Rollins has always had great mic skills. He has phenomenal in-ring skills. He's a guy that is, no pun intended, the future of the WWE. He's one of the cornerstones of the future of the WWE. But because he's been perceived as the opposite of Brock Lesnar, we went from the dominant world champion who didn't need anybody's help to a champion that needs everybody's help. When he doesn't get help, it's going to be too little too late. So I think Rollins is the guy that if you don't take the title off him quick, I could see him dropping the title to Lesnar or Reigns at SummerSlam. But if you're going to continue with Rollins as champion like all the way into Mania season, then I think that he's a guy that has got to change the way he's perceived quickly. And is it too late? That's my question to you, is can you take Seth Rollins here? Because like it or not, that is the biggest issue with Seth, is he can't be taken seriously right now. And finally, the best thing in wrestling in a long time, Kevin Owens versus John Cena. I love everything about the way they've done this. I love it. I love Kevin Owens still being NXT champion, showing up on Raw. Everybody's like, what the dang heck is going on? And he gets thrown right into the fire with the biggest name in the company in the last 12, 13 years. He gets a clean victory over John Cena as the quote-unquote heel, depending on which side of the fence you're on. Everything about Kevin Owens versus John Cena has been perfect. Sorry, film went off again. If any angle change at all there, this should be the last one. But what I was leading into is, this is what makes Owens such a great performer, because Owens has always been the guy that is scary, because he's a heel that breaks the norm for heels. Heels are usually guys from parts unknown, guys that you don't know anything about. Owens will talk about his family. Owens will talk about his motivation, and you know that there's nothing that Kevin Owens will not do to be a success in the ring, and that is what makes him such a great performer. I don't know, I'm on the fence, and I don't know if I'm going to do predictions or not, because I kind of think that it's redundant, especially on a channel when you're trying to do more than one thing, to do 2 wrestling videos in the matter of what'll be 48 hours, because you do predictions and then you do the review of the pay-per-view after seeing the pay-per-view on Sunday, come back on Monday and do the review video. So I'll probably just stick with, afterthoughts and review videos here on this channel. But I'm stuck on whether or not I want to. I may do predictions with my friend the PW Outsider if he wants to do them. But anyway, what I'm trying to say is I'm on the fence about what I see coming from this rematch with John Cena and Kevin Owens. I don't want to see Owens lose because it doesn't make any sense for Owens to lose. It kills all of his momentum, but it does set up a third match, which I wouldn't mind seeing. And look at what John Cena has done. If you want to be a John Cena hater, that's fine. You can be a John Cena hater. I don't begrudge anybody their opinion. But look at what John Cena has done recently. Putting over Rusev, making the U.S. title relevant by having guys come out week after week, guys like Neville, guys like Zayn, come out week after week after week and get a match with John Cena and make themselves look stronger by taking John Cena to the limit, giving Kevin Owens a clean pinfall at Elimination Chamber. And John Cena is finally doing what people have been calling for him to do for the longest time, and that is getting out of the spotlight and making it about the future of the business. And I love it. So yeah, Kevin Owens versus John Cena, I am eating it up. I'm on pins and needles every time this feud comes on the screen. And my biggest worry is, yes, throw Kevin Owens right in the big time with John Cena. When this thing runs its course after 2 or 3 matches, what do you do with Owens next? How do you keep Owens relevant on the main roster? Because Owens right now is the number 2 heel in all of the WWE behind Seth Rollins, despite splitting time between NXT and the main roster. I expect Owens to be done with NXT very, very soon. I would not be surprised if he drops the NXT title on July 4th to Finn Balor in Tokyo. Or if they don't do that, it's set up for Samoa Joe, which is another thing I love. Samoa Joe finally in the WB after all these years. He deserves to be there. He is going to be the guy that takes it from Owens if it's not Balor very, very soon. So yeah, that's basically the RazMan catching up on all things professional wrestling and all my opinions right now. So I hope you enjoyed it. I'm really enjoying the product a lot more consistently than I have for a very, very long time. So give me your thoughts on any of this stuff that I've talked about today. As always, please subscribe if you like what you saw here today, because I would love to see you again. Don't forget to like and share, because those always help with views. Again, the question about Patreon, is that something you guys and gals can contribute to help me get a little bit more put into the show in addition to what little I'm making with my job right now? Because the more that I can have to spend, the more material I have for this channel and the more we can do with this channel. So let me know if that's something you're interested in. I had it going and no one at the time could afford to be a part of my campaign, so I just stopped making videos. But the account is still there, it was never deleted. So let me know if that's something you're into. I'm going to say it for a few videos. If I don't get any feedback on it, then I'll know it's just not the right thing for me, at least not right now. So with that, as always, this is reality according to the RazMan, and RazMan style is not just a catchphrase, but a way of life.